So today we're going to be looking at blood typing. That's what type of blood type you might have, and that depends on what the markers are on your red blood cells. You might be blood type A, blood type B, blood type AB, blood type O, and you may be either positive or negative, and that determines the molecules on the surface of the red blood cells. So blood type A and blood type B are two different types of sugars. Blood type A has a special sugar called sugar A. Blood type B has sugar B on the surface. Now you can have either just sugar A or just sugar B. Or you could have both sugars, in which case you're blood type AB. You may also be different. You may have another type of sugar that is extra short and doesn't poke out of the membrane very well, and therefore it's not picked up by your immune system, and that we call blood type O. Now you can be blood type O where you have no of sugar A or sugar B, or you could have sugar O and sugar A, or you can have sugar O and sugar B. So you can have any possible combinations of them. Now the other markers, the positive markers, are actually proteins. The rhesus positive means that you have the rhesus protein on the surface of the red blood cell. If you are rhesus negative, then that protein doesn't show through the membrane either, in which case you're rhesus negative. So there are multiple different types of molecules you can have on the surface. We're going to test for those today. I have some fake blood here that I'm going to test what type of blood type they are. So I'm going to add just a drop of that blood into each of those small containers. Now what I have is some monoclonal antibodies, and I have some monoclonal antibodies here, anti-A. That means it will stick to any A sugar. Now if I add that to one of these drops of the blood and I give it a little bit of a mix, if the A sugar is there, then the antibody against the anti-A will stick to it, and it will make all the red blood cells stick to each other. And that's what it's doing. I'm getting some clumping that shows that the anti-A antibody is sticking to the A sugars and all the red blood cells are sticking together. So now I'm going to add a drop of anti-B. Now the monoclonal antibody is only one type of antibody that will only stick to the B sugars. And when I give it a mix, I can see that it's not clumping together. So I know that my red blood cells have got the A sugar but not the B sugar on their surface. So that means we're blood type A. So I'm now going to have a monoclonal antibody against the rhesus protein. That rhesus protein, if it's there, will stick to the anti-rhesus antibody. And when that happens, it will cause all the red blood cells to stick together, because as those antibodies will act like handcuffs and sticking all the red blood cells together. And that's what's happening. It's starting to clump together. All those red blood cells are gathering together and therefore showing up that this person has the rhesus protein. So we know this blood type is A. They have sugar A on the surface, and it is positive because they've got the rhesus protein on the surface. And we use the monoclonal antibodies to determine blood type. Now this is really important, especially if someone's about to have a blood transfusion. If you're going to have someone else's blood put into you, you need to make sure that you match it up. For example, this person is blood type A, which means they don't have the B sugar on the surface of their red blood cells. That means if we put blood type B into a person with blood type A, person with blood type A will start making anti-B antibodies because they see the B sugar as being foreign. That means the blood we transfuse will end up clumping together, and that can kill the person. So what sugars you have on the surface will determine what antibodies you can or cannot make. Okay, so now I'm going to do one that you have to work out the blood type for. I have another one of another blood type, a mystery blood type. I'm going to add a little bit of blood from each. I'm going to add the anti-A. I'm going to add the anti-B. And I'm going to add the anti-rhesus protein antibody. And we give them a little bit of a mix. Remember, we're looking for clumping. So what we're looking for is there any clumping when anti-A is added? Is there any clumping when the anti-B is added? And is there any clumping when the anti-rhesus was added? So can you work out the blood type of this person? Good luck.